So let me have my introduction first. Myself, I'm Venu. I have around 20 years of experience into the field of HR. I've started my career as HR executive and then moved to SAP HCM. From SAP HCM, I moved to SuccessFactors. And in SuccessFactors, it's been like almost 11 years that I'm into SF. And in these 11 years, I've handled various modules like Employee Central, Compensation, PMGM, RCM, onboarding, and succession. Though I've worked on all of these modules, my core areas have always been employee central and compensation because I've spent my most of my time in these areas. Coming to teaching, I'm into teaching from last 15, 16 years. I used to train earlier on SAP HCM and now into success factors, employee central, and the compensation modules. Okay, so that's brief about me. Prabha, can you introduce yourselves? One of you can start.
Okay, sure. My name is Anas Ayman. Currently, I'm working for PwC.
Mm-hmm.
I was developer first for like 2 years. After that, I switched into SuccessFactor Employee Central.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, I'm working as SuccessFactor Employee Central consultant and also Employee Now, Enable Now consultant also.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Anas. Prabha?
Hi, Venus. I'm
Yeah,
audible
hi.
to you. So
Yes, you
I
are
didn't
audible
talk,
now.
so I shouldn't just have watching and hearing. Okay, within 5 to 10 minutes, I'll be reaching to my home and I'll talk.
Okay, okay. Yeah, that's fine. No problem, Prabha. Okay, so let's start with the actual demo. So, what exactly is SuccessFactors compensation module? What is your understanding on this module? Compensation module of SuccessFactors system helps the organizations to plan and manage employee salary increases. In compensation module, the basic things would be the first thing would be your salary increases. Every employee in the organization, after completing 1 year, after completing the performance review of the employee, they expect some kind of salary increase, or it could be bonus and rewards, or even the promotions. Sometimes it may happen that employees, when they are with the company for long years and they might be expecting some promotions, and these are handled in system. These are handled in system rather than putting them in a Excel. Okay, and this tool helps, like basically this tool helps the organizations to plan and manage employee salaries, bonus, and rewards in a structured way. Okay. Think like it is a digital system that helps compensation planners to decide who should get a salary increase. Now, not all in the organization should be receiving the salary increase or should be receiving the salary increase in the same way. It all depends upon the performance of the employee in that year. Okay. So this is done in the compensation module. Compensation module, the important topics of compensation module could be the first and foremost thing is your compensation plan template. In Employee Central is Employee Central is a core or base module of success factors. And we have template based configurations like compensation module, performance module, recruiting, succession. So these are all templates. So every year we would be creating a different template for reviewing and recommending salary increases. Now, if you look at the definition of a compensation module or compensation planning, it is a system designed to standardize the compensation planning for compensation profile professionals, such as a compensation business users. Okay, and these business users are assured that rewards are not just calculated correctly but fairly to help retain top performers. Let's say if I'm a manager and there are some employees reporting to me, maybe 4 or 5 employees reporting to me, and I have reviewed their performance. We have performance ratings like far exceeds expectation, meets expectation, doesn't meet expectation. Let's say these are my four ratings. Now, usually the performance ratings in the organizations would be from 1 to 3 on a scale of 1 to 3, rating scale of 1 to 3, or 1 to 4 or 1 to 5, depending on the organization. Now, after this performance review, each of the employees should be getting some kind of salary increase, and this is done and this is processed in compensation module. The first and foremost thing that you should know in compensation module is compensation template. Compensation is a template
Sorry
based.
for the interruption, but I have just a small question.
Yes, go ahead.
Is compensation covering only the salary increase, like permanent salary increase, or like it's also covering a bonus?
Yeah, let
Yeah,
me
bonus
repeat
for
here.
just a year.
Okay, so it covers the salary increases. The first and foremost would be your salary increase, and this is called merit in compensation module. In layman language, we call it salary increase, but we call it merit in compensation module. We can also do the bonus calculations. We can also have the bonus calculations done in compensation module. Now, when I say bonus, if it is a simple bonus calculations, we can do in the compensation template. But if your company is using the extensive compensation bonus calculations, like you want to consider the organization's performance versus the individual performance, and you have different percentages for each of these performances, then you should be using the variable pay template. Variable pay, you can do the extensive calculations. But in the compensation plan, you can still do bonus, where your bonus is simple, like you know, depending on the grade of the employee, you just grant 10 percentage of the increase, 10 percentage of the bonus, or 15 percentage of the bonus, and you can adjust the calculations. Now, this way, you can do the bonus as well. And you can also do promotions. Promotions can also be entered in compensation module, meaning employees' grades would be increased from the lower level to higher level or one level up. Okay, so these promotions are linked with the job information of the employees. So it can be done. Promotions can also be done. Along with merit, bonus, and promotions, we can also do the lump sums. We can also do lump sum. Lump sum is the additional payment which is done to the employee, where if I don't have option to grant the merit increase, let's say employee salary is 10, let's say employee salary is 10 lakhs. Employee salary is 10 lakhs. And employee is already at a higher pay range. And I don't have option or I don't have guideline to set some percentage of increase for this employee. So in that case, I can reward the employee in the form of lump sum instead of the regular salary increase. Okay. So we can also have adjustment, extra or adjustments. Sometimes the merit increase that we are giving is not sufficient for the employees. Maybe at the employees are at the lower level, employee salary is very low, and we want to reward the employee. So you can utilize the extra or the adjustment as well. So these are the main components of compensation module. All of these things can be done in compensation module.
Hmm. Clear. Clear, clear, thanks.
Okay. Now, compensation module is a template based configuration. So, what is a compensation template? Okay, so every year we would be creating a new template. Every year we'll be creating a new template. So, these are the screens managers used during the compensation cycle. We create one template, configure the compensation template, and we generate compensation worksheets from the template what we have created. Okay. From the compensation template, we create compensation worksheet. Template is nothing but your configuration here. We would be doing. Consultants would be doing the configuration, or the comp administrators would be doing the configuration. And once the configuration is completed, we would be generating individual worksheets for managers. Every manager in the organization will have one worksheet. And this worksheet will refer to the template what we have configured. Template contains many other components that we will create the worksheets for individual managers. Okay. And in compensation module, we call the manager as the compensation planner. We don't call the manager as a manager. We call them here compensation planner. Now, sometimes it may happen that your regular manager is not a planner. You will have a different compensation planner. Somebody who is recommending the salary increase, they are called compensation planners. Usually, 90 percentage of the times, it is the manager who is maintained in the job information, or a supervisor who is maintained in the job information is called a compensation planner. Most cases, it is manager who would be planning the compensation. In some times or some organizations, they will have a separate compensation planner when you have a different compensation team, and that team is responsible for recommending the salary increases. Then, in that case, we use the compensation planner as a relationship under job relationship. Under job relationship, for every individual user, you need to go and maintain the compensation planner. Compensation planner, first thing. So in compensation module, we use three different hierarchies. First one is called standard suit hierarchy. It is called standard suit hierarchy. And second is roll up hierarchy. And third is comp manager hierarchy. In standard suit hierarchy, system identifies the compensation planner from the organization chart. Again, how do we get the organization chart? It is through the manager or the supervisor field that we maintain in job information. So anybody, any employee who is reporting to a manager, that manager becomes
When
a
you, sorry,
compensation.
are you writing in the Excel? Because it's
Yes.
freezing.
Yeah. Let me stop and reshare. Yeah, I've written here standard suit hierarchy, roll up hierarchy, and comp manager hierarchy. First one is the standard suit hierarchy, where system considers the compensation planner as a manager of the employee, someone who is tagged as a manager or supervisor in job information would be the compensation planner. Second is the roll up hierarchy, which is similar to standard suit hierarchy. But here we can go and manually choose who is eligible for this compensation plan. System will show at the entire organization hierarchy, and we have to manually choose every individual planner. At some point, if you don't want a particular manager to have the compensation planning, you can uncheck. So that is called your roll up. Roll up will take you from the bottom to top or from top to bottom, and you will have to go and check or uncheck for the eligibility. And the third is compensation manager. Organizations where the manager is not considered as the compensation planner, you need to maintain the relationship of compensation manager for each individual, and this is done in the job relationship. System will identify the compensation manager through job relationship. Okay, so that is your compensation planner, and each individual in the organization will have a worksheet. So if I go and look at the organization chart, okay, let me open the organization chart. If I go and search for any manager or an employee. Let's say I'm taking an employee called Mohan. So this person has 4 direct reports. So when you launch the worksheet from compensation template, This manager will have one worksheet which contains the four employees. These are those four employees. This manager will have one worksheet which contains these seven employees, provided all of these are eligible for compensation planning. This manager will have five employees in his worksheet. This manager will have one employee in his worksheet. This manager will have seven employees in the worksheet. So, system identifies the manager and generates one worksheet for each individual manager. So these worksheets can be generated all in one go, or for individual manager also we can select, or if you want to generate the worksheet for a set of employees, for a group of employees, we can also do that. Okay. And what does this worksheet contain? Worksheet contains the employees' salaries details. So in the worksheet, you will see the employee details. Now, these employee details would be coming from different modules, mainly from Employee Central, like first name or name of the employee, ID of the employee, designation of the employee, grade of the employee, company of the employee. So all of this information would be coming from different portlets of Employee Central. So basically from job information and comp information, the organization information from job and the compensation information from comp module. Comp details from comp information portlet. And we also get details, the performance details. If your compensation module is linked with performance module, then it would be from performance module. Sometimes or some organizations may, if they don't have performance module implemented and they want to do the review within the compensation module, we can also configure it by compensation rating. We have something called comp rating. Compensation module allows you to rate the employees within the worksheet through comp rating. Where you don't want to use performance module, you can go and enable compensation rating as well. And then you recommended salary recommendation. Salary recommendation based on your performance review or compensation rating. Okay. Now, while reviewing the compensation or while recommending the salary increase, you will have to consider the budget that is allocated to each individual. Again, each manager will be given some budget. Now, this budget can be is percentage on the current salary or some bulk amount that is given to each individual managers or some custom calculations. We can add some budget to the manager. If a manager has 10 direct reports, not all employees may be eligible for compensation planning. Let's say I have an employee who has joined recently in the organization and my compensation cycle is between Jan to December. I have one of the employee who has just joined in the month of November. So should I be considering that employee also for salary increase? So this would be defined in the eligibility rules. So we will be writing eligibility rules to include or exclude employees. Now, this could be the type of the employee, like if you have regular employees, consultants, contractors, or trainees or apprentices, and you don't want to consider all of them. You just want to have the compensation planning defined only for regular employees. We can go and configure business rule to exclude these different types of employees. And we can also exclude the employees who have joined after a certain date. Let's say all the employees who have joined the organization after September 1st should not be considered for compensation planning. So we can exclude them through business rule. During the process, you might see some employees getting terminated, and you don't want to consider those terminated employees in the compensation module. You can do that. During the compensation cycle, if managers get terminated, sometimes it may happen that Managers will also get terminated. Managers become inactive. All the employees in the organization would be reporting to a different manager when the manager terminates. So system automatically creates the worksheet there. Okay. So system identifies the eligible employees through eligibility. Uh, and then the next component is your guideline. Guidelines are configured for your salary increases. And these guidelines uses different criteria. One of the main criteria can be your performance rating. If I have a rating of rating 1, rating 2 and 3, or maybe 4 and 5. I have a rating of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in performance. Rating 1 is, let's say, is a low rating and 5 being the highest rating. So employees of rating 1 should get 0% salary increase. Employees in 2 should be getting between 0 to 2, 2 to 5, 5 to 7. I'm just giving an example, and 7 to 10%. Now this is called my guideline. We are configuring the guidelines as per the company's policies. My guidelines are based on rating, performance rating. Now this is one of the criteria. Now sometimes it may happen that you may want to consider grade also along with rating. If employee is in a particular grade and rating 1, so this should be salary increase. Employees in different grade with this rating, this percentage of increase. This is called your rating. This is called your criteria in the guidelines. So this is your guidelines. Now this would be configured in the template, and when you actually launch the worksheet, system will pull the rating for all the employees and it gives you the salary increases based on the guidelines. Managers will have these guidelines, and compensation planner will not be allowed to give the salary recommendation outside these guidelines. I will not be allowed to input any value outside these guidelines. So it should be between only 2 to 5. Depending on the budget that is allocated, I should be adjusting the salaries in these guidelines. So one employee, let's say there are 3 employees with rating 3. So first, one employee can give 2%, one employee can give 5%, one employee can give 3%. System allows you, but it doesn't allow you to exceed these guidelines. Okay, so that is the main component. So we talked about the eligibility, we talked about the guidelines, we talked about the performance rating, rating sources. Rating sources may not be always from performance module. It can also be from compensation module. And you can also pull the rating from multiple performance templates. If different employee cat types are using different performance templates, we can pull the rating from different performance templates also. Okay. So any doubts here so far?
For me, clear.
You're clear. Okay. So now in our regular sessions, when we start the compensation, so this compensation module would be covered in 10 sessions. If it is if it is a regular session, 1 hour every day, so the weekday sessions will be covering in 2 weeks, or sometimes it extends till 12 sessions. And if it is a weekend, generally I take compensation module in the weekend. So weekend of I take 2 hours a day. I'd be covering the entire content of 5 hours in 4 hours in the weekend. Okay. So all the areas of the compensation module, including the compensation configuration through provisioning. There are some settings which we need to be enabling in the provisioning. We'll be covering that and then do the configuration of the compensation worksheet. We launch the worksheets. We see how to manage these worksheets, how to add employees to the worksheet, how to delete the employees in the worksheet, or how to update the employees in the worksheet. What happens when a manager is terminated? What happens when an employee is terminated? So we manage the worksheets. And after completing the compensation cycle, we will also be publishing the data, because in the initial stage, we get the data from different modules. We get data from Employee Central, we get data from Performance Management, and then we do the salary recommendation. Now, once the form or the worksheet is completed, we send the data back to Employee Central. Updated salaries would be published in Employee Central. If employees have promotions, so a record will be published in job information. A promotion record would be published in job information. And the salary increases would be published in comp information recurring components. And if there are any bonus or additional lump sums or the adjustments, then these would be published into one-time payments. And along with publishing the data, we will also generate the compensation statements. Compensation statements are the statements like these are like a pay slip of an employee. At the end of the compensation, what is the salary increase that employee has got? And what if there is any promotion or any other components like bonus or or lump sum or extra, so that can also be included in compensation statement. So these statements can be sent to Employee Central. If you are using a separate portlet, we have a standard compensation statement portlet available in People Profile. So we can publish it to People Profile. Managers can view, or compensation planners can view these statements at the worksheet level, and employees can see the compensation statement their in their People Profile. Okay, so let me give you a glance of the compensation module in SuccessFactors system. So to navigate the compensation as a end user, if I am a compensation planner and I want to review or recommend the salary increase, I go to my module picker. This is my module picker, and then you have compensation. You go to compensation. If the forms or worksheets are with you, you can go to forms, or you can also navigate to compensation review. I'll tell you the difference, what is a form and what is a compensation review. Let's say I want to review one of the salary template. So I can go click on the template. So it opens up the worksheet. Now this is called your worksheet. This is actually executive review. We don't call executive review as a worksheet. Whatever that you see in the forms, that are called the worksheets. Okay. But again, the content would be same in the worksheet and the compensation review. Now, when you open the compensation work review or the executive review, you'll find some information which is coming from Employee Central. Now, you see this information, all of this information we got from Employee Central, and this is not editable here. This is not editable here, but we have some information here which is editable. Merit, which is your salary increase. Lump sum, which is additional amount which can be granted. Adjustments and promotions. And these are called the guidelines, merit guidelines. Based on the employee's rating, you can also see the merit guidelines. Now, if you see, there is one employee who has got 3.84 rating, and system is recommending 4 to 7 percentage. Where there is no rating, system is recommending 1 to 4 percentage, and here it says 4 to 7 percentage of increase. Okay, so this is your salary planning executive review. Okay, let me also open the worksheet. This is a worksheet of one manager, and this manager has three employees reporting to this manager, and this is Now, all of these fields are configured in design worksheet. What data you want to show in compensation worksheet, that is configured in compensation module. And these guidelines, what you're seeing, these are configured in the compensation templates. And we have the approval process. This is called the roadmap. In template based configurations, we use the route maps. So this is my roadmap. So again, it depends on customer to customer how they want to have the roadmap. So usual practice is you'll have four different steps or three different steps. First would be with comp administrator for validating the data. Second, it would go for compensation planning. And then third, it goes for approvals. Fourth, it goes for HR review and then completed. Or sometimes you will only see the compensation planning and the HR review. Okay, so this is your roadmap and this is your budget. Now, manager will have the option to look at the budget and then plan the salary recommendation here. And if manager has four or five employees and if they are not eligible, so you only see three employees. System will run the eligibility rules and include or exclude the employees from the compensation worksheet. So these are the important concepts of compensation module that would be discussing in our regular sessions. So this is your worksheet. We configure the worksheet with the columns that you want to have and the ratings that are to be included, guidelines that are to be configured, the roadmap that is to be configured in the system, and the budget calculations. So all of this would be configured in a compensation template. The compensation module the template can be configured for multi countries. Now every country has got their own currency. And if you want to look at the look at the compensation details in different currency. So we have option of three different currencies: functional currency, planner currency, and employee local currency. Employee local currency means whatever data that is maintained in comp information. Let's say if I am in India, my compensation would be maintained in INR. If I am reporting to a manager who is in US, my manager's currency is USD. If my manager want to see my data in USD, yes, they can convert it into planner currency or functional currency. So these are the three different currency types that are available in compensation module. Okay. Any doubts that you have? So let me walk you through the course content as well, what we would be covering in next 10 to 12 sessions. So this is the day-wise course content. First day we'll be discussing about the compensation introduction, and then you need to understand the comp ratio, range penetration, and the salary calculations. So comp ratio and range penetration are the benchmarking techniques that organizations uses. This is available in comp information. Now, comp range or the range penetration would be derived from the salary ranges. So, comp ratio uses only mid salary, whereas the range penetration uses both the minimum and the maximum salary. And these benchmarking techniques can be used as a criteria for the guidelines in compensation module. And we also do the salary proration calculations. What if employee is joined in the middle of the year? So does that employee get the same salary increase as other employees, or you want to prorate? So how do you want to prorate? So these can be discussed. Day two will be discussing about the provisioning settings that are to be done. Like any other module, we also enable or disable some features in the provisioning system. And we also schedule a job in provisioning. We will discuss about that. And we'll see how to enable and navigate to compensation administration. So enabling meaning the RBP part. And we can enable the compensation module at the user level and also the configuration, administrator permissions as well. So we'll see how to enable the compensation module. And then we'll look at assigning roadmaps to compensation template, the approval process. We'll discuss about different approval processes. What if I want to start with compensation administrator, or what if I want to start with compensation planner? Okay, what all steps can be included in the approval process, that we'll see. Employee data export. You can export the employee data and see if all the eligible employees are included in the compensation plan or not. And if you are using non-EC, compensation module can be implemented for customers who are not using EC. It can be configured along with EC and also without EC as well as an independent module as well. So in that case, we need to upload the data into the system. So we'll see how to upload the data. Day 4, we'll talk about currency conversions, the different currency conversions that we have: employee local currency, functional currency, and the planner currency. That salary ranges and pay grade mapping. This is for non-EC customers. We'll have to upload. We'll see how to create a compensation plan. There are different ways of creating a compensation plan. We can copy the existing template, or we can download a compensation template from Success Store and modify it. Or if you have an XML, you can also upload the XML. And once the compensation plan template is created, we'll see the basic settings, advanced settings, and we'll see the design worksheet. We'll discuss about the standard fields that SuccessFactors gives us, and how to create a custom field in compensation module in the design worksheet, how to use lookup tables in compensation worksheet. Okay, so these things we'll see in day 5. Day 6, the important concepts like budget, eligibilities, guidelines, rating source, and planners. Defining planners meaning the hierarchy. How do you want to have your hierarchy? Is it standard suit hierarchy, or is it roll up hierarchy, or is it comp planner hierarchy? It is one of it. So we'll be looking at these topics on day 6. 7, we'll create a worksheet. We'll see how to manage the worksheet, how to move the employees between different worksheets. Day 8, we'll see how do we run the compensation worksheet. If the worksheet is to be moved between planners and the approvers and HR, how do we move this? If I want to add an employee in between the process, or remove an employee from the worksheets, or move an employee from one worksheet to the other worksheet, we'll see that in day 8. Day 9, 9 or 10, we will be looking at the compensation statement, designing the statements, and the publishing the data. So how to publish the data from compensation module to employee central, and how to view the compensation statements at employee level and also at manager level. So these are the topics that we'll be covering in next 10 sessions. So I'll take a pause here and see if you have any clarifications in the course content or the topics that we are going to discuss, or anything that you would like to know more.
Just a question. It's called like compensation and variable pay module. Is the variable pay like included in this, or it's like
No,
something
it is
else?
not included. Variable pay is not included in this content. It's a separate module altogether. We also have a separate certification for variable pay, separate certification for compensation module. So we are going to discuss only on the compensation and not on the variable pay.
For me, it's clear. Nothing to add from myself.
Okay. Shahid and Prabha, do you have any questions? Again, If you already have experience or knowledge of success factors, employee central, or any other module, I can directly take you to the compensation content. But if you are new to success factors and this is the first module that you are learning, so I may have to walk you through some areas of employee central as well, because you need to understand what is the people profile and how the data is fetched from employee central to compensation module. So you need to have that understanding as well. So that also we'll be covering.
For me, I had experience in Employee Central.
Yes, yeah. I didn't get any info from Prabha and Shahid, so just checking if they have the knowledge of success factors earlier. Okay, so if you don't have any doubts, we'll stop it here and we'll hope to see you all soon in the regular sessions.